Squatters, back with another one. There are things that shouldn't really surprise us South Africans when they happen. There are things that shouldn't really surprise us. UCT, and Wits students are protesting because of lack of accommodation, all of those issues, which are actually issues that have been going on for the longest time, as much as I can remember. You remember some years ago, there was a student protest, fees must fall. And we have guys like Abu, who's that guy? The guy who's now at MKP, I'll remember his name. He was arrested and he was prosecuted and he was threatened and he was, fighting for his rights. I mean, in South Africa, when you fight for your rights, they arrest you, they victimize you, they do all of those things. And so it's so sad. It's so sad because the struggle continues and it doesn't look like it's going to come to an end. That's why on my last episode, I said South Africans are not angry enough to actually confront this devil. This devil called poor administration, lack of governance, and a don't care attitude kind of tendency. Our leaders don't care. They don't really care. And that's why you have people like Abu Blade Zimande when he was the Minister of Higher Education saying students must fall, because they don't care. And good people, we are tired of protesting. Some of us, we are tired. We just want a concrete solution. Once off, go. Same time. We are tired of picking up petty issues, Zanzo there, racism there, and all. Let's change the laws. Let's change things. Let's do business. It's time for us now to mean business, to show the government that we are fed up. For us to pick up the UCT, I know there's a protest there. You remember the fees must fall was hijacked, even by the ANC. I mean, how dumb it was when ANC were joining the struggle of the fees must fall. At the same time, they are in the administration. They are the ones who must change that situation, who must solve those problems. But no, they're joining students and say, yes, fees must fall. We are protesting against their own government, against their own political party. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't really make sense. When I see ANC people wearing ANC regalia protesting, I wonder if they are fine here upstairs. They are not fine, because they are the ones who are in charge. They are the ones who must resolve all these issues, all this mess. They are the ones who must fix those issues. But they choose to protest because they don't understand their position. They don't know actually what they are doing. It's so sad, man, to see our younger brothers and sisters protesting, being shot with rubber bullets, being subjected to criminal records, not being able to graduate. I mean, until when should an African child continue to be poor, marginalized, excluded, and victimized, and end up in prison? So you can have a criminal record, so you can't get any job. You can't have any kind of a future anymore. Wherever you're gonna apply, they say, you got a criminal record. It means you are a violent person, and we can't hire you. How painful it is. Now the students must keep quiet. They must keep quiet because when they fight for their rights, the ANC government arrests them, victimize them. Now the EFF has to run around, fighting those cases. And EFF has done a very good job when it comes to that, by the way. It's just this dumb ANC SASCO thing that they joined and just to cause chaos and to infiltrate the struggle. Now the struggle was actually diluted because there are people who were not supposed to be there who are there. just to collect information. Who's the leader? Who's doing what? Intelligence. We know that they were there for intelligence. It's so sad. Why can't they just make education free? Free education. Everybody who qualifies must just have access to education, and that's it. Because they don't want people who are educated. They want dumb people. ANC want dumb people who don't know what is right and what is wrong. So you continue to vote for their nonsense. Even when they mess up, you can't see this is a mess. As long as they give you 350, you should be fine. And a small fish oil and tin fish and 2 onions and 1 tomato, then you must be fine. You continue to vote for them so they can pop up champagnes there at the hotels, booking expensive hotels, eating expensive food, driving expensive cars, living fleshy lives, and flashing it on the poor, in front of the eyes of the poor people. You know, it's so sad that people have lost conscience. Our black leaders have lost conscience. By the way, we know that they are sellouts. We know that right from the CODESA negotiations, these people have sold us a long time ago. They have sold us. What do we expect from them? They must just be removed. Nothing. They can't fix nothing. From being removed is going to prison, because they've stolen a lot of money. All of them combined. They stole a lot of money. Luckily, people like Julius Malema, they regained their conscience. You know, when you have conscience, you have conscience. While he was still in the ANC, he regained his conscience to say, but what we are doing is wrong, comrade. Let's fix this. He started to implement those policies of free education and land expropriation when he was still in the ANC, because ANC took that freedom charter, the original freedom charter, and threw it into the dustbin and say, no, this one is not going to work. Now our masters, we must negotiate now, mouth to mouth, gentleman agreement. These sellouts, ANC sellouts. I don't care who. You can talk about Mandela, you can talk about Thabo Mbeki, you can talk about Jacob Zuma. All of them are sellouts. They are sellouts. The person who was not really active in the CODESA negotiation, which I believe if he was active, by the way, he was still young, Julius Malema, this couldn't have happened. I think they could have made a Krizani story about him, a comrade Krizani, the man who had guts, the man who walked out of the CODESA negotiations and said, I'm not going to be part of selling my people. Those are our Thomas Sankaras. Comrade Krizani. Until today, 30 years later, black people in South Africa are still struggling, are still poor, continue to be unemployed. Conditions are dire. Black people are living below the poverty line. There's high inequality. Everything is just a mess under the ANC government. Yeah, you said you want freedom. What is freedom? What is freedom? You said, hey, we want freedom. Hey, democracy. Don't ask for something you don't understand. What is freedom? What is democracy? What is political power? What is economic power? White people have got economic power. Black people have got political power, which is just nonsense. Political power without economic power is nonsense. You can't use it anywhere, because they will constantly keep on threatening you that we'll pull out our investment. Have you heard these ANC idiots say, no, the investors will go. Hey, no, we should not make investors angry. No, they will go. Hey, Jehovah. Hey, George Cole. We said we want this thing. Now we got it. Now we got it. Our kids are struggling there. Every year they must protest for the same nonsense. Every year. Someone is sitting there at the top there, doing absolutely nothing, busy with corruption. Hey, NEFSAS. NEFSAS must just be banned, must just be cancelled. It's useless, because you go to school and it's a loan and you need to repay it. And if you don't repay it, then you get blacklisted. What happens when you can't find a job? For 10 years, you can't find the job that you actually went to school for. You've got a degree, right? You can't find the job, and you own NEFSAS. The interests now are going up. Ooh, you end up owing them 1.8 million. South Africa. This is South Africa that we said, no, hey, democracy. And when you talk, people are saying, yeah, no, you are too negative, man. Hey, you are complaining too much, man. Let's enjoy democracy. Let's enjoy democracy. Only few black people are enjoying this. They are well off. Some, they managed to go to school and got lucky, got proper jobs, and some they managed to be chosen as puppets, so that white people can front with them. They become a company executives, but they don't even know that, the turnover of the company per annum. You don't know how much the company is making per annum, but they are saying you are an executive director. Because you are a puppet, you are just a front for the status quo. You are just a compliance material that they are using for compliance. That they listen, when they submit the compliance BBE certificate, you are there, your name is there. Some companies, they even pick employees without their knowledge and make them directors and continue to steal money fraudulently so to generate income. There are people who found out 10 years later that they have been the directors of the company they are working for. South Africa. This is South Africa. So we need to put a stop to this kind of issues. How are we going to help those students? The ANC government must just pack and go. It must just pack and go. It's been useless for the longest time. How long must our students suffer, sleeping in libraries, sleeping in bathrooms, because the government cannot resolve this issue of accommodation? The government should have built structures to accommodate many students, to promote education. They are not education promoters. They want dumb people who are smoking nyaupe. Every 5 years they're going to vote for them and not ask any question. Then they say, I know we're going to give you 350. We're going to give you RDP house. That RDP where people die for those RDP houses. I don't want an RDP house. I don't think I will ever want that subsidy house. They must just give it to grannies. People who are old, who are pensioners, who never really managed to work for themselves. They must just give those houses to those people, because those are deserving people. Young people shouldn't get RDP houses, by the way. They must go and work and build their own houses or buy their own properties. We need to work hard. Other countries will laugh at us. In fact, we are a laughing stock now because of the ANC administration. What's going to happen to those students there? And now you look at the time, varsity, from February, you should start. Whether you're doing engineering, you're doing business management, you're doing whatever, the political science, you should start by now. There's no time in varsity. First semester, push, out. Next, then we need the results. How are they going to concentrate when they are depressed? The government is causing depression. How are they going to concentrate on their studies? And we think we've got democracy, we must celebrate. Celebrate what? Celebrate fraud, window shopping, selling out of comrades in the CODESA negotiations. The likes of Thabo Mbeki are quiet now. They say he's a scholar, he's a African Renaissance in UNISA. Why is he quiet now? Those are the people who must talk. The blatant Zimandes came and messed up. No one ever managed to fix varsity issues. All that they're creating there is tenders and tenders and tenders for their friends. I'm glad I'm not captured by them. I will never sell out to the African people, because I know how to go to bed on an empty stomach. It's so sad. It's so sad. Let's continue engaging squatters. I don't know. South Africa has got so many issues. That's why we are talking every day. People will think, they're talking crap. Hey, this guy who's talking vernacular, no, these are real issues. Go and meet the students there. You'll find poor kids who haven't been sleeping on a proper bed for 3 days. Doesn't have food. What would you do when a student comes to you and says, for 3 days I haven't had anything to eat? Those are our brothers and sisters, young and little sisters, little brothers. Must we keep quiet when they are suffering? I don't think so. I don't think so. We must rise. We must speak against these injustices. They say there's Human Rights Commission. It's serving no purpose. It has got eyes. It can only represent white people there and there. I know they violated their human rights. That's it. Let's continue engaging squatters. Thank you for watching my content. Those who have not subscribed, please subscribe. Click that notification bell. When I drop the content, you happen to be the first to get it. Sharp squatters.